Welcome back to another episode of the 2023 NBA Draft Prospect Profiles here on the Field of 68. Rob Doster. I have Coach Matt McCall with me, and we are going to be breaking down Miami's 25, 26, 29, 30-year-old Jordan Miller, maybe the best player in the ACC this past season, a 6'7", I guess, combo forward, do-it-all forward that averaged 15 points, 6 boards, just under 3 assists, a couple of steals per game while shooting 55% from the floor and 35% from three. Matt, this dude does everything well. I think I feel comfortable enough saying that you'll agree with me on that one.
I totally agree with you on that one. And two, his freshman year, I was the head coach at the University of Massachusetts, and I remember this guy wasn't on anybody's radar. They were planning on redshirting him. And then halfway through the season, they played him.
I remember that game. It was at Rhode Island, his first game, right? He comes out and it was
and all of a sudden he only plays 17 games as a freshman, starts 16 of them, and through those 17 games, he averaged 10 and 7. So it's like, man, where did this guy come from? We weren't prepared for this guy. And all of a sudden he bursts onto the scene and has an unbelievable freshman year. Numbers got better his sophomore year. COVID hit. Nobody gets to finish the season. His junior year, they only play 20 games, I believe it was. But he was one of the best players in the Atlantic 10. Decides to leave, goes to Miami. His numbers drop. He goes from averaging 16 a game at George Mason to only 10 a game at Miami. And then what happens the following year? Those numbers increase. He just got better. He got used to the league. He got used to the level. He goes from averaging 10 points per game to 15 this year and be one of the best players in the ACC. It's just really impressive, his career when you look at it. Going to be redshirted. We'll pull the red shirt. Let's inject him in. Oh, man, 10 and 7. Next year, numbers improve. Following year, in the COVID year where it was so crazy for everyone, numbers improved. Leaves, goes to one of the best basketball conferences in the country. Numbers dip a little bit, figures it out. Numbers improve. I think that's one of the most impressive things about him. I know he's older. I know he's one of the older players probably in the draft, just in terms of experience, playing 5 years in college, right? I mean, there's a lot.
And age.
There's a lot of guys, though, that are in the draft that have played 5 years in college because of the COVID year, but he just got better. I think there's tremendous value in that he's seen it from both levels and improved each year.
My question with him is, so he does everything well, I think. Like he's a good shooter. He's a good, pretty versatile defender, right? He's a good enough passer. He's a good decision maker. I don't know what he does that is elite. I don't know what he does at an NBA level, right? And I do think that to a point, when you're going to be one of these role guys, these versatile guys, these glue guys, once you get to the NBA level, I think you have to do something at like a top 1% mark in the league if you're going to stick. And I don't know if he is quite there.
Yeah, but look at it this way too. I mean, Miami goes to the Final Four this year, and I know how good Isaiah Wong was, but you're talking about a guy that you look at their tournament resume and the games. I mean, they don't get to where they got to without him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the size, he's got the length, he's got the athleticism, he's got the capability to be able to make threes, second round pick, to be able to take one of the best players in the ACC. I don't think you can go wrong in a player that's been through a lot, and he has the experience factor. He knows what good looks like. He knows what winning looks like. He's won game from the Final Four the previous year. His team busts through. They get to the Final Four. I know he's older, but on a team that's built to win right now, I think he could add some value.
Yeah, I have very little doubt that he's either going to get drafted or be one of these guys that doesn't get drafted because he has already signed like the free agent deal with like he's going to get a shot. Right. When you are that good on a Final Four team, you're going to get your shot. I just wonder if I think that he needs to become an elite shooter to really stick. Right. Because a lot of the other stuff that he can make it happen. But if he's not being a guy that you have to run off the 3-point line, I just don't
totally
know.
Agree.
I just don't know if it's going to be something where he will last in the NBA beyond like a couple of years. And if he goes overseas, the dude's going to make a ton of money.
He's going to make a ton of money. I think, Rob, too, I look at this NBA draft, and I think it's going to tell us a lot. Just like this whole COVID year that everybody got back.
Mm-hmm.
Are these franchises going to take second-round picks on players that have been in college for 5 or 6 years? Or are they going to draft, quote unquote, the guys that they feel like have more upside? The younger players that are entering the draft, they're going to stay in the draft. They've decided to stay in the draft. Or, hey, Jordan Miller, we know he's ready. He can come into an NBA practice right now and compete at a high level and make our franchise better, make our team better, and we can throw him into the game and he's not going to mess up. He's not going to screw up the rhythm of the game. Mm-hmm. He can help. Or we're going to take a 19-year-old that's in the draft, or we're going to draft someone from overseas because we feel like they have more upside. With this whole COVID year, I think a player like Jordan Miller, we're going to find a lot about these NBA franchises and the direction that they're trying to go, because, there's players that are 5 or 6 years into college that are in this NBA draft. And are they going to take those guys because they can add value immediately? Or are they going to take a guy from France who projects to be better 5 years from now?
Our partner for today's episode is Athletic Greens. I started taking AG1 during the college basketball season, and I loved the impact that it had on my energy levels. I'm a big coffee in the morning guy, but by the time that the afternoon would hit, I needed another boost. AG1 helped me tremendously, especially on those days when I didn't want to get up off the couch and go hit the gym. Their tagline is AG1 is comprehensive health and the power of habit in one. And man, that could not be more true. It's nearly impossible to eat and drink in a healthy manner in the month of February and the month of March when you are in my business. And AG1 was exactly the supplement that I needed to improve my gut health and cover my nutritional basis for the day. I've continued that into April. I've continued that into May, and I'm going to continue that the rest of the summer. All I have to do is mix a scoop of AG1 with some water, or maybe add it into a smoothie, and I'm ready to go. Do it after lunch, and you'll be ready to go for the rest of the day. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/field68. That's field 68 FIELD, the number 6, the number 8, and you can get yours now. So check it out and help support this show. Thanks. Or who they don't have to worry about getting locked into paying 4 years of a guaranteed contract because you just leave them overseas for a while. I do think it's going to come down to the specific organizations, right? Like there are probably teams that could use somebody like a Jordan Miller as your 5th, 6th, 7th guy off the bench, right? Someone that's going to play 60 games out of the year, going to get major minutes when you have load management issues on some of your better players, right?
Yeah.
So I do think that is probably what his role ends up being. And I think that there's a role for him in the league. Now, there's also going to be teams that say, hey, look, you know what? We are probably 3 to 4 years away from actually contending for a title. So instead of using this pick on Jordan Miller, I'm going to go try to get like Amari Bailey. I'm going to go try to get someone like a Noah Clowney, one of these guys that has a chance to end up being a superstar if things hit right for him, but are a good 2, 3, 4 years away from being a real contributor in the league. And then just leave them in the G League or leave them on the end of your bench for a while, let them try to develop and maybe figure it out. But I think that is an organization by organization thing. And hey, look, you know what? There's going to be organizations that say, Jordan Miller, we need you in our program right now.
No question. And I think, these players that are going to be in his situation, mid-second round, late second round draft picks, will they have a problem with going to the G League? Or are they looking at it as, hey, man, I'm here. I'm here to get better. I'm here to improve. I think that's a big key. And you look at a guy like Jordan Miller who goes to George Mason, clearly was redshirting, and the staff felt like, man, let's not redshirt him, let's pull this. And he goes in and he impacts the game right away, and his numbers improve. He gets better. He goes to Miami, same situation. So if I'm looking at it from a GM standpoint, and where are we at culturally right now? Where are we at as an organization? What do we have to do? Can we win right now? Or like you said, are we 2, 3, 4 years away from competing for an NBA championship? I think guys like Jordan Miller, wherever he falls in the draft, I think those are big keys.
Yep, I agree. He's a very, very good basketball player. I just don't know if the right fit for him is going to be in the NBA, playing in the EuroLeague, playing a high level overseas somewhere. But this will not be the last time that you hear the name Jordan Miller. This has been his 2023 NBA Draft prospect profile here on Field of 68. Make sure you check the description below. We have links to more than 50 draft profiles that we are going to be rolling out through May and June. And again, be sure that you check out our live NBA mock draft that will be coming 1 week before the start of the NBA draft. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.